The truth of it is, if you look at the casualties of Christianity, the Inquisition, the Crusades, the Salem witch trials. I read a book on the Salem witch trials.
Well, hello there, you odd and beautiful manifestations from Gaia's bosom. I wanted to use this video to remark on some comments made by one Dinesh Souza regarding the humanitarian crimes committed by the Catholic Church throughout the centuries. Now, Mr. Souza is quite the accomplished individual. He's a former Ronald Reagan White House... I probably should have looked that up. He worked at the Ronald McDonald House. Oh my God, the Ronald Reagan White House. He worked at the Ronald... I guess they're all clowns, but it was the Ronald Reagan White House, not the Ronald McDonald House. He is a prolific author, a public speaker, a filmmaker, a debater, world traveler, prominent neocon, Christian apologist. The guy read a book about the Salem witch trials. I mean, he has done it all. And it's these last two credits that I wish to address because Souza has been in the habit of using his Christian apologetics to kind of smooth over the crimes of the Catholic Church in history to make it seem like they weren't really that big a deal. Allow me to share with you what I'm talking about.
I consider myself an educated guy. If someone had said to me a few years ago, Dinesh, how many people were killed in the Salem witch trials? I would say, I'm not sure, but, I read Arthur Miller's The Crucible in college, and it's a big spot on American history. I don't know, hundreds, maybe thousands. You'll see right away the number of people killed in the Salem witch trials was, in fact, precisely 18.
18 people were executed in Salem, but what about the tens of thousands of people who lived outside of Salem who were also executed for witchcraft? Oops. What about the thousands of people that were wrongfully imprisoned and tortured and died in the torture chambers? Those numbers are not going to appear in the Salem witchcraft records. What about witch hunters like Pierre de Lancre, who single-handedly tried and executed 600 innocent people? One dude! 600 innocent people tried and executed for witchcraft. For Souza to take all of that, the centuries of pain and misery and death, and just funnel it all down to this one event called the Salem witch trials, well, that's pretty ballsy. And then to use, I would also add, the Crucible as his source. I mean, we're talking about a major crime of the Catholic Church in history, the burning of innocent people for witchcraft. And the source Souza is going to use to kind of argue against that is a play written in the 1950s that doesn't even say hundreds, maybe thousands of people were killed in Salem. So what is he doing here? Well, I think that Souza is kind of using a little bit of a mental trick here. He throws out this inflated number, hundreds, maybe thousands, just so that when he reveals that the number's 18, we're all supposed to go, oh, 18. BFD, right? Well, no, the witch hunts were a much larger thing than just Salem, and what Souza's doing is completely underrepresenting all of the pain and torment and execution that went into it.
The Spanish Inquisition, which was the most notorious, probably killed, I don't know, hundreds of thousands, millions. At the Spanish Inquisition, over a period of 350 years, killed approximately 2,000 people. I'm not exactly a math major, but by my count, that's about 5 guys a year.
So this is just more of that same trick where Souza throws out this very enlarged, amorphous number, hundreds, thousands, maybe millions, just so that when he reveals that the number is 2,000, which actually still seems like quite a bit to me, we're all supposed to think, however, oh, 2,000, that's not millions. But once again, Souza is writing off 98% of the Inquisition. The Inquisition was founded in 1230. The Spanish Inquisition, which was one office within this larger network, was only formed in 1480. So you see what's going on here. De Souza is only counting the people executed, again for the crime of having different religious views, might I add. He's only counting the people executed for that crime from 1480 onward. So he's not counting, for example, the Cathar persecution that happened in the 13th century. The Cathars was this kind of alternative Christian group living in the southern France, and the Vatican sent a whole crusade against them to wipe them off the planet, which they did incidentally wipe them off the planet. And this crusade stopped at many towns and cities in the south of France. And in one of those cities, Béziers, 20,000 people were executed. Now, none of them will be counted in the Spanish Inquisition records because it had already happened before the founding of the Spanish Inquisition. And in fact, at Béziers, there was this rather infamous exchange that took place between one of the soldiers and one of the monks. The soldier asked, well, this city of Béziers has both a lot of Catholics and a lot of Cathars. How do we tell the difference? And the monk replied, just put them all to the sword. God will know his own. Like that Marilyn Manson song. So this is what happens when you allow your Christian apologetics to completely distort historical facts. I think history is important, and that what happened in history is important, and so I thank you all so much for watching. Till next time, peace.